been a long 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been a mad long 2 weeks. But we're back here. I don't even want to talk about what's been happening, but we're back here. Daily Man News. Man News. Daily Man News. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Mad News with your host, F.O. Bizzo, coming to you live and direct from the Mad News headquarters right here in London. So, what is the Mad News for today? Daily Mad News. According to The Independent, every UK working adult will need breed card, digital ID under summer plan to tackle illegal migration.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Civil liberty groups want mandatory digital ID risks pushing unauthorized migrants further into the shadow. Okay, so what they're saying right now is that's the ex-MI6 boss calling for digital ID cards to help deter small boats crossings from illegal migrants. Okay, so let's put it this way. We've got illegal immigrants coming into the country. You can't control them. You can't control the movement in. But instead of you finding a way to control the illegal immigrant, you want to give everyone a breed card. Daily Man News. I did a video 2 months ago. This is the video right here, which I did analyzing the new breed card that the government is bringing in. It's called Analysis of the Pros and Cons. It's called the Analysis of the Breed Card, Pros and Cons. So in this video, I was able to show you guys what the breed card is going to be like, what they're going to use it for, the ID. If you haven't watched this video, I suggest to go watch this video because it has a lot of information about what the government is really planning on doing with this breed card. I mean, but let's go deeper into this because if you look at another headline from The Guardian, it says, Keir Starmer expected to announce plans for digital ID cards. As government looks for ways to tackle illegal migration, move will spark battle with civil liberties campaigners. So, all working adults will need digital ID under plans to be announced by Keir Starmer in a move that will spark a battle with civil liberties campaigners. That's basically what The Guardian is saying. What The Guardian is saying over there. Now, if we move into the BBC too, if you go to the BBC headlines too, you're going to see there. Starmer to announce plans for digital ID scheme. And that was on September 23rd, 2025. Remember, I haven't been able to upload videos on YouTube for like 2 weeks. So, some of these stories late, but I think I need to touch on these stories because I was talking about it a few months ago and no one will listen to me. When I saw this last week, when I signed this petition, it was actually 207,000 signatures when I signed this petition. But now it's 2.7 million people signed to reject the digital ID.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
It's not even a joke, but now let's go deeper into this and see what's going on.
Breaking news now. Digital ID will be made law for all adults in an effort to tackle small boats. Downing Street believes that a mandatory ID card system will help stop illegal immigrants working. Let's bring in our political correspondent, Mari Aurora. Mari, what more do we know about this?
Yeah, well, Gareth, this is interesting because this is something that has been spoken about a lot. Tony Blair, for instance, has been talking about this for years and years as what he always believed was one of the best ways to try and reduce illegal immigration. And
let's wait there. She said Tony Blair has been talking about this for like a decade, about this digital ID scheme. It's true. Tony Blair has been talking about this, but let's go deeper. Yeah. Daily Man News. If you actually look for Tony Blair's son's company, yeah. If you look at it, Ian Blair's company, Multiverse, has been chosen to run the government new digital ID scheme.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
So that's nepotism right there because the son of the previous prime minister. Yeah. No wonder the dad is campaigning for this. No wonder the dad wants everybody to take this digital ID, because the moment the country agrees to do this, the Blair family gets to make billions and billions of pounds. Billions of pounds in royalties. Because if his son is the company is the one providing this, that means obviously they're gonna get paid for the services and for data modeling and everything. So that means that
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
So this is what the verdict of fact check is. So this isn't true according to both government and Multiverse, which is an upskill company, not a software development. The government has not announced any partner for this project. But let's watch out for it, because we all know that Ian Blair, yeah, let's see what it says there. One post says, Multiverse, yeah, the company chosen to produce UK digital ID app was founded by Ian Blair, yep, the son of the former Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair. You couldn't make this up. I mean, another says now the whole thing becomes a bit murkier. Ian Blair, sons of Tony, owns the company Multiverse that is developing the 1.7 billion app for the digital ID. The plot thickens. So we see, okay, let's see what Tony Blair says. Although Tony Blair himself, along with his non-profit organization, the Blair Institute for Global Change, has publicly advocated for the introduction of such a scheme. There is no evidence of his son having any involvement in the government's plan to implement digital ID in the UK by the end of the decade.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
I just said I should put that there. Anyway, let's go back into the video. Daily Mag News.
The ability for people to work illegally here in the UK, but Sky News understands that we will have an announcement, could be as soon as tomorrow, from the Prime Minister on these mandatory ID cards, an ID card system, the Brit card. And essentially what this will mean, it will be mandatory for all adults here in the UK. It will make it easier for employers and for landlords to make sure that those they are employing or renting, or to actually have the right legal immigration status here in the UK. They can.
So guys, let me quickly show you something here. When a person wanted to prove their right to work or rent, the credential will be verified using the Verifier app that will be free to download. So this is the procedure here. User, yeah, authorizes credential sharing from the Gov wallet, verifies the app, and present the photos and eligibility to the employer. Employer confirms that, okay, that's you. That's you. Done. And the verifier app also verifies the credential with the right to work verification service, which I think is something similar to this. You get the gist there. So I've explained it to you a long time ago how this thing is going to work. So anyway, let's go back into this.
Do it using a smartphone app. It's also, according to the government, going to make it easier for people here in the UK to essentially prove their status or their ability to kind of qualify to be able to work here in the UK. And essentially, this is all about immigration. This is all about trying to tackle small boats crossing.
Daily Mag News. How is this going to tackle the problem? Like I said to you before in my previous episode, I think the all these illegal migrants coming in, and the whole hotel, migrant hotel and all that kind of thing is all an agenda, which I'm going to do a video about. I will show you where this whole thing comes from and what the agenda is behind it. If my YouTube channel is not even going to be deleted after this time, I don't really mind. My whole plan is to bring out the truth as I see it. So basically the whole plan agenda from day one, with all these illegal immigrants coming in from day one, the agenda is the digital ID. Now they found their excuse, and you're going to see, whether we like it or not, the government is going to find a way to implement this by tooth or by crook, because I think the first thing they're going to do, which I think they're going to do, is they're going to make sure that those people on universal credit or whatever benefit system that is, they're going to be the first one to be on this digital ID system. They're going to be the first one to be on this digital ID system because they're going to make sure that for them to be on the benefit, they need to sign in to get this ID system.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Then after they've implemented that, then the people that wants to get work will be able to do it. Like I showed you earlier in the previous episode, if you want to get house now, if you want to rent a flat, you will need a digital ID to be able to get a flat. I mean,
Denied. Access denied.
that's what's going to be happening to a lot of people, but let's just keep watching this. Daily News.
Into play, and once it is enforced, how much of an impact could it have on small boats crossings? And if it has a really significant impact on small boats crossings, and it really kind of starts to eradicate that pull factor for illegal migrants coming to the UK, because I think they can essentially make money on the side illegally, as opposed to somewhere like that in France, how much of an impact does that have? And if it doesn't have a huge impact, then of course there'll be sighs of disappointment, I think, from within the Labour Party.
If it doesn't have the new impact, what they're going to do, if they realize that, oh, the digital ID is coming and the high level of people are still, of migrants are still in the country, then they're going to implement the CBDC. And they're going to eradicate cash in its totality. And then it will be like you need your digital ID. You need your digital ID to get a job. And you also need your digital ID to get a rent. Now, when the money now comes in, the money will also come in a CDBC. So basically, that's what I think the whole plan is. Daily News. Like I said to you earlier, I signed this petition earlier. Last week, it was 270,000. When I signed this last week, it was 270,000. Now it's 2.7 million. That to show the number of people that are really not interested in this. So, this is Tony Blair 5 years ago talking to the Independents about this. Let's listen to him.
Digital ID today that is much more easily protected, so you can deal with a lot of the privacy and surveillance issues that worry people. But it's a natural evolution of the way that we're going to use technology in any event to transact daily life. And this COVID crisis gives an additional reason for doing that. Because, look, I could be wrong about this, but when I look at, for example, how you restart some businesses, how you restart international travel, I think people's disease status, for example, have they been tested? What is the result of that test? Have they had the disease? Do they have the disease? I think unless you're able to record some of this data in a way that people can use, it's going to be difficult to go back to anything like a near normal in things like transport. So if you're going to start international travel again, how do you do that unless people can be easily tested and have some record of that test?
Just like the COVID passport, this is what this whole digital ID is going to be about. This is what I think. I think if you're still in the UK till December this year, if you're not out of this country into a country that hasn't implemented digital ID yet, by December this year, you're going to get a digital ID. You are going to get the digital ID because you won't be able to get a job. You won't be able to use your bank account again. You won't be able to go on social media to complain. You'll be able to buy ticket out. And your passport, man, if your passport is not in date right now, if you don't go and renew your passport right now, go and renew your passport for the next 10 years or whatsoever, it's over for you because you're going to end up needing a digital ID to do anything. So this is what I think. Do I think the digital ID is a good idea? I don't think so, because I've seen the effect of what people in China are going through about the digital ID, and I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's another sort of social engineering and mass surveillance, which I don't want to be a part of. Now, what are the options? I'm self-employed, but I know at the end of the day, if I want to declare my taxes, they might tell me I need digital ID in order for me to declare my taxes. So these are one of the issues about this, that one way or the other, you might not be able to escape. So I think the clock is ticking in. The clock is ticking in on cash. The clock is ticking in on your freedom. Daily Mag News. Let me know what you think. Do you think the whole idea of this digital idea for every UK citizen, do you think is a good idea? That yes, it's going to stop all this illegal migration? Or do you think it's another two-step? Is the missing link for the government total control of a citizen? Also, if you have another idea on how to tackle this migrants situation, leave a comment below and let's digest and let's talk about this. Until I see you again on the next episode of the Daily Mad News, it's your boy FOP and I'm out. Daily Mad News. Mad News. Daily Mad News.